Alright, this meta is just insane. It allows for some wild matchups, and here is an example of just how crazy these matchups are. We have a Korg with a Hulkbuster. This is just insanely unlikely, but the fight is just very solid. And there we get a massive SP1, and this fight is just going perfectly so far. Here we get an intercept, and we go back in afterwards. Then we drop another intercept with a relic hit to just make it easier for us. We go back in, drop another combo into an SP1, and that was a Korg with Hulkbuster in 35 seconds. That is just crazy. That is just so unheard of. And now we have this Warlock fight here, and Warlock is pretty annoying this meta because if you don't have an armor break, you can't crit him on special attacks, but Hulkbuster has a ton of armor break, so we are just chilling, and this damage output just gets pretty wild. Like there, 37,000, we go back in, 10,000 mediums. Here he drops the SP2, then we go back in afterwards, and the fight is now pretty much over after I intercept with my relic, which by the way, you can intercept with your relic, so keep that in mind. It is a great use, and that is Warlock in 28 seconds. So Hulkbuster is pretty wild, man. And then we have this Domino fight, and this Domino fight is just so crazy. So here we go in. I missed the intercept there, but it's fine, and we get it eventually. And once we get it, we start to we really get going, because once Hulkbuster has his crit passive up, it's just over pretty much. Here we drop the SP1, some very nice damage there. That was about 43,000, and that's it. Like, the fight's just over. 27 seconds, just some absolute madness from rank 5 Hulkbuster. And now we have another tech character who I think is just one of the best attackers for this Battlegrounds meta. So we have this Thing fight, and Thing is no easy champion, but for Warlock in this meta, he just destroys Thing. Well, a lot of characters do with this meta, but Thing, I don't know, he's kind of a jobber this meta, to be honest. My Venom takes him in like 40 seconds too. It is some crazy stuff. He is just so easy this meta. Like right here, he is just melting away. Like, the basic hits just really shred through him. Like, he has pretty much no protection whatsoever. And yeah, this fight is almost wrapped up already. We go back in, we get a clean intercept. His intercepts just being super smooth and super fluid, the light tech one especially. And yeah, that is a Thing in 40 seconds with Warlock, which is pretty awesome. And now we have this rank 2 7-star Bishop. A lot of health, and Bishop is Bishop, so he's always very difficult, right? Well, not really for Warlock. Warlock makes it a bit of a joke. Warlock is probably the best Bishop counter out there besides Infamous Iron Man, but he's not good this meta, so it does go to Warlock this time around. But this fight is looking pretty good. He drops the SP2, I get the full dex there, which is a bit surprising for me. I'm pretty proud of that. We go back in. He is not playing ball though, unfortunately. He just refuses to get the intercepts, but here I get it eventually. Then I drop the SP2, and check out this damage. Just so good. And that is rank 2 Bishop in about 35 seconds. Craziness, man. Just absolute craziness. Now we have the Sinister fight, and Sinister can be pretty annoying, but if you have Warlock, he becomes a joke. Just a straight up joke. Look how fast this fight just happens. It just happens in an instant pretty much. We get the intercept going, he regens there, but afterwards, when we get the infection up, he will no longer regen, and it'll just be a pretty sad time for him. Here we can just get another intercept going, we drop the SP2, and this wraps up the fight in about 23 seconds, I want to say. Yeah, Warlock is just pretty good, man. Just pretty good. Now some bonus matches here, and Venom has been crazy this meta. I've taken things in like 37 seconds. I've taken Mcocs like right here in 40 something seconds. It is just wild, and Mcoc here just gets melted really fast. So Venom is just great this meta. He is just fantastic, and he is one of my favorite go-to champions. I wish he had more recall friendliness though, but besides that, just an absolute beast. And yeah, this is going pretty good so far. Here he dropped the SP2 for some pretty nice numbers, and then Mcoc throws his SP2, which is fine. And this fight is going very well so far. and it's now pretty much over after this one combo. And that was Mcoc in about 43 seconds, which is pretty sweet. There we lose war, which is whatever. And before I let the rest of the video play out, we have the Silk versus Domino, and this one is just all luck based. I just got so lucky here. But Silk is also just crazy. She is crazy strong in pretty much any fight she's in, and this right here is a prime example. The fight, I got lucky for sure. For the most part, I got lucky, but some things are just Silk being Silk, and I just love her for that. We go back in, we drop the SP2, and this was a rank 2 Domino in about 20 something seconds. I think 27, yeah. That is just a bit wild, man, and enjoy the rest of these fights. Overall, this meta is fantastic. It just lets a ton of characters shine, and it makes for some crazy matchups as well. So let me know your thoughts on this meta, and yes, about it for me.